Now, Representative Steve King is an unabashed racist with a history of saying horrible and stupid things.
They
Now,
prefer to be called outright, Jeff. Be
oh, is that
politically
it?
correct.
Yeah, okay. Now,
Tie it up and put a bow on it.
that's what we're doing here, obviously. Now, one of my examples is his recent endorsement of a very far-right Dutch politician who, of course, hates the immigrants and is super racist like he is. Now, let me show you this tweet that he is now under fire over. He says, the Wilders, I believe is how you say it, understands that culture and demographics are our destiny. We can't restore our civilization with someone else's babies. Fascinating. I think the implication of that tweet seems to be pretty clear. In fact, he's going to go on and defend this after being under fire on CNN's New Day and say just that.
Well, of course, I meant exactly what I said, as it always is the case, Chris. And to expand on that a little further, I've been to Europe and I've spoken on this issue, and I've said the same thing as far as 10 years ago to the German people and to any population of people that is a declining population that isn't willing to have enough babies to reproduce them. And I've said to them, you cannot rebuild your civilization with somebody else's baby. But it's a clear message that we need to get our birth rates up, or Europe will be entirely transformed within a half a century or a little more. And Geert Wilders knows that, and that's part of his campaign and part of his agenda.
Right, but if you want to apply that kind of thinking to America, it seems like a complete contradiction of what we're all about. I mean, this is the melting pot. We are known by those countries that you just mentioned as the bastion of diversity. It is an unqualified strength for us, and it sounds like you're trying to kind of white cleanse our population and saying somebody else's babies. I think that means me, Congressman. I'm only second generation in this country. Who's somebody else's babies?
Chris, we're a country here that, if you take a picture of what America looks like, you can do it in a football stadium or a basketball court, and you see all kinds of different Americans there. We're pretty proud of that the different looking Americans that are still Americans.
We're proud of that. We're proud of the different Americans, but they're still Americans. But those other foreign people, fuck them. If they want to come over and be Americans, no, fuck them as immigrants. That's a weird message, isn't it?
Yes, it is a very weird message.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just a racist. I'm pretty sure that's what I got out of that clip.
Yeah, but now he also adds, and I don't have the video for this, he says these people that live in enclaves refuse to assimilate into the American culture and civilization. Now, on the immigrants' part, the second generation, like with what Cuomo was saying, he says, well, some of the immigrants do embrace American culture and they do assimilate, but there are many who are 2 and 3 generations living in enclaves that are pushing back now and resisting against assimilation. He kind of sounds a bit like the Borg. Star Trek reference, I don't know if you get that. But I'm sure a lot of my audience do. They go around basically assimilating all races, whether or not against their will. You will be assimilated, right? I'm totally geeking out right now. And you don't have a choice. You will assimilate now. That is Steve King. You come here, you come into our space, we will assimilate you. Not great. Doesn't look very good. Now, I do kind of want to ask where this is happening. Where are these enclaves?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm wondering.
Curious.
What the hell is he referring to?
Like, where are these places where there's, like little Saudi Arabia over there where they have their own laws and stuff, Sharia law or something like that in America? Where are they? I don't know where they're at. No, Dearborn. See, some random right-winger's going to come back and be like, Dearborn, Michigan, have you been there? Pfft, no-go zone. You can't go there. Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what's funny about Dearborn? So one of these reality show television places, like A&E or something like that, they want to do this big like reality show in Dearborn, like, Muslim in America, Muslim in Dearborn, right? To show how different they are. They scrapped the idea because the people there were too normal. They were too American. They were too normal.
Yeah. Well, you know
Hilarious.
what I love? Just like going like kind of big picture with this. I love that these people that are, saying don't tread on me, and we want the government out of our lives. We want to, these people that really celebrate excessive individualism are the same people that are saying you assimilate being here. Like, well, wait a second. I thought you were against the national identity. I
Right.
thought that wasn't your thing. You're all about the individual. But now that doesn't apply anymore. You're a hypocrite. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't add up at all.
No, what's going on here is that basically Steve King is saying things like, if you're not speaking the same language as me, if you're not speaking English, and if you're not dressing like me, well, then you're not assimilating. That's essentially what this is. Basically, you're fighting American culture if you don't eat hamburgers, dress in a regular suit, or a pair of jeans and a T-shirt, from American Eagle or some bullshit like that, and wear a MAGA hat. Yeah, if you're not doing that, you are fighting American culture. But this racist moron doesn't realize that American culture is essentially a mishmash of everyone else's culture, and that's kind of what we're made up. That's kind of what has made America great in the first place. He also forgot of that little slogan that we have here in America, our national motto. Do you know the national motto, Ron?
No.
E pluribus unum. Now, what does that mean? It means out of many, one. It's on our money. It's on our money. But of course, Steve King probably looks at a dollar bill and he sees that and he's like, "Go, speak English, dollar bill. I don't understand you. What is this?" What an ignorant buffoon.
I don't know why our money's
ignores
green. We should make it white.
Yeah, we should make the dollar bill white. Now, he also said this. Quote, "I'd like to see an America that is just so homogeneous that we look a lot the same from that perspective." I want to see America that's homogeneous, that all looks the same. That's not really America, dude. From our diversity comes strength that no other country has been able to match. Why do you think we're sitting on top?
Yeah, and that
everybody.
sounds a little, I hate to draw this comparison because it's so overdone, but that straight up sounds a little Hitlery.
Godwin's law has been invoked.
I mean, yeah, like we want everyone to look the same. That's that sounds familiar, and that's a pretty fucked up idea, buddy.
A little bit.
Fucked up idea.
But back to our strength, right? Our strength isn't because just of the contributions of white people or just black people or just Asians or Latinos working on their own. It's all when we work together, right? That's when we're at our best, is when we work together and we take all of our different ideas and we put them together and we see what works best.
Absolutely. Or or if we want to go in the cultural sense, it's whenever black people start something great and then white people steal it, like rock and roll music.
Well, that does happen. Yeah. And
one
then,
can
of
say
course,
that's working together, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, and then there's the
Not
same
really.
there's that little stain on our history where we essentially made black people build America by enslaving them. There's also that.
There's that.
There's also that.
That was.
But look,
yeah.
America is supposed to be how we're not supposed to care who you are, where you came from, as long as you actually believe in America. You actually believe in freedom and liberty. But see, you have this quote here from King that shows me that he doesn't even understand that concept. Now, first he said, this is an effort on the left, I think, to break down the American civilization, the American culture, and to turn it into something entirely different. Well, on that, projection. That's what he's trying to do. And finally, he says, I'm a champion for Western civilization, and yes, our English language is a big part of it. It is a carrier of freedom. No, you know what this is? This is Steve King, and I'm going back to this, being too lazy to learn another language.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because I'm thinking, when you're saying all this, I'm thinking about, a lot of the neighborhoods in Los Angeles, and he would probably go there and hate all the Spanish that he hears. But you know what? Guess what, buddy? We're one of the only countries that doesn't highlight bilingualism, and that's something that needs to change. And I include myself. I mean, I'm not. I don't consider myself bilingual.
I'm not either.
Italian. I speak Italian fairly well, but I'm not fluent, and I wish I was. And hopefully someday I will be. I still practice as much as I can, not as much as I should. But we don't have an official language. So if anything, we should be one of the more bilingual countries out there, but we're the total opposite. So, tough shit, Steve King, tough shit. And that's one thing I would love to see change. I would love to see bilingualism being highlighted and people learning a new language starting in kindergarten and it being part of their lives. That's why, you don't have to be a genius to be bilingual. It just has to be instilled as a priority.
Yeah. And here's the other thing too, right? So English, the English language is a carrier of freedom, right? The British also spoke English, right?
Well, that's why it is
kind of their language.
Freedom, Jeff, because in American English, we just make up bullshit words whenever the fuck we feel like it. That's the freedom he's referring to.
Apparently
in
because
the dictionary, Jeff. So we'll make shit up here in American English.
I don't know if you guys
brutalize that language, and we continue to do so unapologetically.
I'm just saying, I don't know if you guys remember, but we fought an entire war over freedom with the other people who spoke English. That's weird. Isn't that weird?
That's why we've been bastardizing the language ever since.
No, maybe. Jeez, man, this is just so much ignorance that's going. I mean, in all this, so ignorant and stupid, the whole thing. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.